Well, there is a very known professor in New York City. I don't exactly remember his name. He was an atheist. He struggled a lot with faith for a long time, and later he came back to Islam. One day he read one of the lines by poet Allama Iqbal that completely changed his faith, that shut him down, and all of his research was finished, and he said there's no running from this. Do you know what that line was? Let me share it with you. Sure, you can deny God, but how do you deny the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? In other words, you can be a bit immature and say that I'm not going to believe in something that I don't see. Close the case. Stop talking to me right now. But how can you deny someone who lived in flesh here, who Allah the Almighty communicated with? How do you deny the reality of Prophet, peace be upon him? We need to revisit that. How does a man get born in a vicious environment? I mean, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and becomes this beautiful, soft, kind, gentle, bashful, delicate, merciful, who was content when people couldn't even be patient, and was merciful when people couldn't even be just. How do you explain a person who was so kind and gentle with the kittens? How do you explain a person who praised people for taking care of animals? How do you explain a person who stood firm on the front lines on the battlegrounds? How do you explain a person who removed alcoholism effectively? How do you explain a person who removed racism, slavery from the human history? How do you explain a person who had been given the title of Al-Amin, trustworthy, before the prophethood was granted? How do you explain a person who becomes one of the most influential figures in the human history? How do you explain that? We need to revisit that. We need to understand that fact. We need to come back and find facts in these things.